A beautiful piece.
Mick Jagger once said, "You can't always get what you want," and that really is the story of SSF sometimes. I've noticed that Carcass Jack seems to be all the rage lately in several different builds, when just a few leagues ago it wasn't very popular. This got me thinking about the time I spent playing Magic the Gathering, and a similar thing occurred all the time. Previously uninteresting cards would enter the meta depending on a variety of circumstances. I'm not here to tell you to not use these unique items if you have access to them. What I am saying is that in SSF, you don't always have access to exactly what you want, and it's helpful to know that it's okay to adapt to what's available. To use a recent example, I played a Bladefall Blade Blast Assassin. I was using a Tabula, but I knew that ultimately I needed to upgrade to a real body armor at some point. I knew that the most popular choice was Carcass Jack. It provides AoE scaling for Blade Blast, as well as the explosions from your obliteration wands, so it's a really nice choice. But if one doesn't have access to Carcass Jack, what can you do? And this is where your knowledge of the game will come into play. Now, I know that as an evasion and dodge-based character, using Wind Dancer, if you use a Kintsugi, it provides you with a ton of defense. And it's also easily acquired if you keep up on your prophecies. I could also try to farm the divination cards for Carcass Jack, but that requires either filling out the atlas to the point where I can favorite one or two maps, or try and get one by manipulating the early atlas and only completing Underground River as a tier 2 map, since the boss can drop the card. Now, you could use a lightning coil too. Combined with some increased maximum lightning resistance, that could be great for mitigating physical damage, which is almost always helpful across the board. There's other solutions too. The Restless Ward isn't terrible. It provides, some real bonuses. It's probably the weakest of all the choices I'm going to list here. And another one too is if you kill Tull in a breach and they drop the Snowblind Grace plus a blessing, you can upgrade it into the perfect form. Now this is kind of cool because it gives you a free Arctic armor, which provides you with less physical damage taken, as well as less fire damage taken. So again, the physical damage is always welcome, and the less fire damage is interesting because if you get a helmet that converts some physical taken to fire damage, then you get even more physical damage reduction. The point being is that it's important to be able to adapt just because you don't have what your build guide recommends. You could also use a rare body armor. They're nice because you can tailor it to your needs. You can get flat life and percent increased life to really push your health up to about 6k or above. You can craft ailment avoidance. You can get more attack dodge or spell dodge, additional resists. You can get spell crit. There's a lot of options. Don't be afraid to make changes to your build based on what you need. If you need more defense, you can spec into more defense. You can change your auras around, maybe look for defense instead of offense, or vice versa if you feel like you need more damage. If you feel like you need more speed or utility, try some things out and, don't be afraid to experiment. If it doesn't work out, no harm done. And you can also talk with different people in the community and see what they think of your ideas and maybe try to get a little validation. I hope this video will give you the confidence to experiment on your own and maybe eliminate some of those insecurities that players might feel when they try to make changes or customize their own builds. The next video will probably be post patch notes episode where I go over what I'm going to do in standard for 3.14. So I hope you check that out and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already for more SSF content. Thanks and take care.